Tonight, our first educational session is on presenting a toast. And so we'll teach us all about the times where we'll be required to present toast and how to do it effectively. Let's please welcome.
That's it.
Making a toast. Let's just examine for a moment what making a toast really is. When you imagine a toast, can you think about a time when you want to make a toast? A wedding? Yeah. Kevin? Birthday party? Yeah.
Any celebration that you might make a toast, even a funeral you might make a toast.
Yeah. And we're thinking here about a toast of particular people, but it also might be a toast to an organisation, mightn't it? This Toastmaster Club is 10 years old this week, or the firm has been going for 25 years, really working, or something like that. So somebody is proposing a toast to the organisation. It might be a club that you're involved in. So a toast could be any one of those things. A birthday, might be somebody retiring from a job, or retiring from a football team, or a tennis team, or whatever it is that you're involved in. Might be somebody mentioned a wedding here just a moment ago. Yeah. So it's really a recognition of someone or an organisation that is what we're doing when we're making a toast, isn't it? Okay? So that's what a toast is. There are many times when you might be called on to make a toast, and sometimes you will have prior notice of doing a toast, and that's always the best thing because you've got time to prepare. But sometimes you might just be called on the spur of the moment to make a toast, and you really only got a few seconds or a minute or two to think about it. So we need to have in mind just what a toast is and what we're meaning to do. Because a good toast can really set the mood of the occasion. Would you agree with that? Yeah? Okay. If we do have time, notice to prepare. Does anybody know what the 5 P's are in terms of preparation? 5 P's? Prior, preparation, prevents poor performance. Okay. So, I mean, that applies not only to a toast, it applies to everything you're doing, doesn't it? If you've got time to prepare, well then you ought to be able to put something more together. You ought to be able to think what sort of an opening you're going to have to this toast. What sort of ideas you're going to put forward when you're presenting the toast, and how you're going to then finish it off at the end. If you've got time, what should you do to prepare? What can you do?
Rehearse.
Sorry?
Rehearse.
Rehearse, yeah, but even before you rehearse, what have you got to get?
Information.
Information, all right? So if you're getting information about somebody, you want to know a little bit of background. Let's just pick a situation. Liz has been the president of the tennis club for 10 years, and somebody's going to toast her. So what sort of information do we need to get about Liz for this toast?
Why she choose tennis? How long she been at the club?
Yep.
When she joined?
Yep. What she
Her greatest achievements?
Yep. Yep. Whether she's champion of the club 4 times running.
Whether Wimbledon's as good as they ever say it is?
Something a bit
humorous about it to make it a bit,
Yeah,
not
look,
just, boring.
yeah, what sort of humour could you add? Little funny incidents that might have occurred?
I don't know where a skirt fell down.
It's like a skirt on the top.
I miss that
Lucky you.
Yeah. So what this is doing is it's taking it seriously, isn't it? You're looking to put together a short speech. And so you want to get some information about the person or about the organisation, and you want to think just how you can put it together in a short speech. And it is a short speech, remember. The thing about a toast is that it's all about let's call them the toastee or the organisation. It's not about you making the toast. It shouldn't be about you trying to give the most inspirational speech you've ever given. It's you toasting the person. So you want to build up the prestige of that person or that organisation, don't you? All right. So that's the key thing about doing a toast, is to take it seriously and remember it's not about you, it's about the toastee, as we'll call them, or the organisation. Another thing about doing a toast, it's not always in a controlled situation. I'm talking to you here now in a controlled situation, you're all sitting there. But if you're doing a toast, it might be in a hall or a room where people are spread right around. And so what's some important things that you need to remember if you're found in that situation?
Voice.
Voice projection, yeah.
Eye contact.
Eye contact. What else? What else would be important?
That relates.
Sorry?
Body language.
Body language, yeah. You need to be aware of where people are in the room. You need to be aware of how you're going to get the message out there to them. And so you need to make sure that you're in a good position in the room. And what about if you're using a microphone? What should you do if you found that you're proposing a toast and you're using a microphone? What would be important as far as that?
Testing it.
Testing it? So that you're not embarrassed about where's the switch and how does it work? You see people doing this sometimes, don't you? Testing, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's not really being a professional, is it? Do all of that sort of preparation beforehand and know how the microphone works. A toast is usually drinking with somebody, isn't it? So what should be done as far as that side of it is concerned?
Make sure everyone's got a drink.
Make sure everybody's got a drink, yeah. Anything else? That should include you that's making the toast, shouldn't it? Make sure that your glass is full. What would be more embarrassing than to say, now let's drink this? Sorry, could somebody pour me some drink? Make sure before you start speaking that your glass is full and ready for the toast, and that everybody else has been set up to have a drink as well. When you're making the toast, you should make sure you announce the toast very clearly. For example, so ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to charge your glasses and drink a toast to the long service that Liz has given to this tennis club. And then another bad idea to then say, ladies and gentlemen, to Liz for the work that she's done at this club. Repeat it, all right? Make it loud and clear, say what the toast is, and then repeat the toast. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. There's never supposed to be any clapping at the end of a toast. And the person, if I'm giving the toast, I don't thank the audience and I don't ask for a round of applause. when I was putting this together and taking the notes that I made from somewhere else, that's what it said. But I think that sometimes the natural thing for the audience to do would be to give a round of applause. So I'm not quite sure that's a problem, but it's not expected that there should be a round of applause. Okay. So in summary, let's think about it. When doing a toast, the first thing you have to do is what?
Gather information.
Gather information, do some research and prepare. Okay? Put together how you're going to open the short speech. What are you going to mention? What humour are you going to inject? Make sure that humour doesn't offend anybody. Make sure your speech is limited to probably about 3 minutes. That's all a toast should be. It shouldn't be any more than that. Convey your message with clarity, sincerity. I mean, if you're proposing a toast to somebody, it's got to be a sincere proposal, doesn't it? Yeah? And be concise. It is about your toastee, it's about the organisation. So don't try and steal the limelight as the person proposing the toast. You've got to make Liz feel as if all the effort that she's put in over the last 10 years has been really worthwhile, and it warms the cockles of her heart to have somebody speak so warmly and appreciatively about it. All right? It's got to be a sincere toast. And then lead the audience by asking them to raise their glass and let's drink a toast to Liz. To Liz for the work that she's done for this tennis club. Down she goes.
Going down quick.
Yeah. All right. Anybody got any questions about doing a toast? No? So you could all stand up now and do a toast. Is it going to happen at the next session, Colin?
There will be an opportunity to do some toast at the next.
Well, there you go.
As long as we have drinks.
Yeah, as long as we have drinks.
We have drinks.
We might even
Alcohol.
Some wine will be nice.
Okay. Remember, think about
So if it was a more somber occasion, because sometimes a footballer dies, you know, or a chief exec dies suddenly, and someone maybe after this all happened, they go back and try to celebrate the life. I mean, how do you change your
well, I
manner?
think,
I mean, what would you?
Yeah, well,
have
you
you
don't-
ever had to do that, John?
no, I haven't had to do that. But I think you've just got to make sure the sincerity comes through, depending on the person and what sort of person they were. You might still have some humour in there to try and lighten the occasion a
Sometimes
little
it can
bit.
be young people that get killed or all sorts of things.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. But if you were celebrating the age of somebody old and who's been a leader and what have you, you might inject a little bit of humour in it still. You often hear that in speeches at funerals, a little bit of lightheartedness to try and just take the heaviness away from the occasion. But I think if it is a serious situation, it's just a matter of being sincere and serious about it. Would you agree? I mean, you've got to speak to the occasion, to the situation. But it's not about making the toastee feel good in that situation, but it's about making the people that are there feel warmly towards that person, isn't it? Okay. So doing a toast, and you might be called to do that at any time. Do your research, be clear, try and put together a beginning and opening and a conclusion to your speech. make the person or the organisation feel good, or in a situation like we've just been talking about, make the other people feel good about that person who might be deceased or whatever. And remember, the occasion is about the toastee, as I keep referring to them, not about you. Mr. Toastmaster.